Okay, we're back. In case you couldn't tell from the long pauses and stuff, I'm a little bit under the weather. I'm just doing the best I can with it right now. But anyway, you okay?
I'm just a little anxious about tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be able to handle it.
But you have done this a lot, haven't you?
Once a year isn't a lot, Hallie. It still hurts me.
I understand, but I'll be there with you. I believe in you, Knots. You're stronger than you think.
Thank you. I think I should get to sleep now. I have to wake up early to prepare our food. My mom can really cook, but man, were her recipes complicated.
Okay, Knots. Sleep well, okay?
I will. Good night. I love you.
I love you too. Natsuki disappears into the night and prepares herself for bed. Meanwhile, I stay in the living room and flip on some anime. As I watch, I can't help but think about tomorrow. I'm admittedly a little nervous as well, for a number of reasons. First, I've never really been to a cemetery before. I'm not sure how one is supposed to act. Second, Natsuki is bound to be emotional. I hope I'm supportive enough to help her. Third, well, I do have a third concern, but I don't imagine it'll amount to anything. I guess all there is to do is to rest and mentally prepare myself for tomorrow. Natsuki spent the whole morning cooking for today's lunch. She woke up bright and early to go shopping for ingredients and spent about 4 hours preparing the food. I couldn't help but sneak glances of the meal throughout the morning, and she would laugh and keep telling me to back off. Eventually, I put the food out of my mind. After showering, I go outside and sit and wait for Natsuki. I really hope today goes well. The door opens behind me and I look at Natsuki. She's carrying a bag, presumably filled with takeout boxes that we'll enjoy together visiting her mom, and she's wearing a backpack, I assume filled with plates and utensils.
I'm ready.
Then let's go. I take Natsuki's hand and we walk toward the cemetery. And I honestly cannot remember if cemetery is spelled with an A. I'm pretty sure the third E there is supposed to be an A. I hear Natsuki sniffle a few times as we walk, but it can't be helped. Once we walk in through the gates of the cemetery, Natsuki releases my hand from her grip and starts power walking in the direction of her mother's grave. I let her continue how she likes and decide I'll reach her at my own pace. In the distance, I see Natsuki standing a few yards in front of a headstone, and she has her hands behind her back, almost bashful. Seems like she's a little kid again, showing her mom a drawing she made, but by the looks of it, she just seems to be too shy to go any closer. I finally make it to her and put my hand on her shoulder. I look at the headstone reading, Kaya Shimizu, 1974 to 2007, mother, wife, friend. So she was just a little over 30. There's a few wilted flowers taped to the stone with a photo of her and Natsuki. I look at the photo, and as I look at Natsuki's mother, it's like I'm looking at Natsuki. She looks just like her. Miss Shimizu, I hope you know I'm always by your daughter's side. Go ahead, Natsuki, you can talk to her. Natsuki nods her head and sniffles.
Hi, Mama. I know it's been a while. I'm really sorry. I wish I had the courage to come see you more. But I'm glad I can be here with you now. And look, Monica, I wanted you to meet someone.
Natsuki walks back to me and grabs my hand, and I walk with her.
Mama, this is Hallie. He's my boyfriend. I've been living with him for a long time.
Hi, Miss Shimizu. It's great to finally meet you. Natsuki's told me so much. I decide to stop there. I don't want to force anything I say. Natsuki then sits down on the grass by her mother's headstone, and I follow suit.
Mama, look, I made the pork udon from your cookbook. I didn't really have time to make fresh noodles, so I just bought some that was prepared for me. But I still think it turned out really good. I just know that if you were here for me, you'd make it so much better than I ever could. You were always so good at cooking for me.
I scooch in closer to Natsuki and hug her.
Oh, anyway, I think it's time for lunch, right, Hallie?
Yeah, I'm sure your food will make your mom very proud, Natsuki. I kiss her on the head. We then head towards the picnic area and sit down at a wooden table. We're completely alone. The silence of the cemetery is eerie, but in a peaceful way. Nats opens the backpack she brought with her and pulls out a tablecloth and spreads it across. I help her get it nice and even, then she pulls out 2 plastic plates and 2 pairs of chopsticks. Finally, she opens the plastic bag and subsequently opens the styrofoam box containing the food. It smelled good before, but now that it's out in the open, it's absolutely heavenly. Natsuki puts an equal amount of noodles on each plate, then hands me mine. Then, without any regard for cleanliness or properness, she breaks her chopsticks apart, takes a bunch of noodles, and drops it straight on her face, missing her mouth completely, and it lands safely back on her plate. I look at Natsuki, dumbfounded with what I just saw, and she notices.
I'm sorry, I promise I'm not crazy. I just forgot to tell you, that's something I always used to do with the noodles my mom made for me when I was little. It always made her laugh.
Oh, I see. I do have to admit, it's pretty funny. Your mom must have had a great sense of humor. I can see where you got it from.
Yeah, my mom was a super funny lady. She always loved to do silly voices and make silly faces with me. She told me the corniest knock-knock jokes when I was little, or too little to understand how dumb knock-knock jokes were.
Oh, I'd love to hear one.
Do I have to?
It would make my day.
Fine. Okay, I remembered one. Knock knock.
Who's there? This is a statement, not a question.
A broken pencil.
A broken pencil who?
Never mind, it's pointless.
That was actually kind of funny. No.
I guess you're right. Well, anyway, let's eat our food before it gets too cold.
Come on, one more joke.
No, shut up and eat.
We laugh and I take a whiff of the delectable smell. Natsuki has now begun to eat her noodles normally, and I do the same. I take my first bite and I'm astounded. The spices are on point and the vegetables are steamed to perfection. I take a bite out of some pork and it's absolutely splendid. Nats, you've outdone yourself this time.
Thanks, I'm glad you think so. To be the best, I had to learn from the best. So if you're going to thank anyone, thank my mama.
You know, I think I'll do just that. Stand up, then walk back over to Natsuki's mother's headstone. Natsuki follows behind me. I look at the photo of Natsuki and her mother and look straight into her mother's eyes. Miss Shimizu, before I met Natsuki, I was living a pretty unremarkable life. I'd go about the same boring, drawn-out daily routine, and that's what I planned to do every day for every year for the rest of my life. But when I met Natsuki, everything changed for me. Natsuki's done nothing but make me smile, make me laugh, and challenge me to be a better person for as long as we've been together. And I know that all of the roadblocks she's faced over the years, including losing you, has caused her untold amounts of distress and sadness. But I feel proud to say that I've done what I could to help Natsuki channel that sadness into strength. Natsuki is now the strongest woman I know, and if you could stand in front of her right now, I'm confident you'd see that too.
Hallie!
Natsuki bounced toward me and lovingly wraps her arms around me and from the side.
Thank you for saying all those nice things about me to my mom. It means so much. Knowing that she knows how much I've tried to grow up without her around. Mama, I miss you so much. Being with Hallie has made me realize how fleeting a relationship with anyone can be, even with your own mother. Or with a close friend, or a boyfriend, or...
With your own father?
Who's there?
Natsuki squeezes me tightly, then closes her eyes and doesn't look in the direction where the voice came from. However, I do the honors, and I tap Natsuki on the shoulder as if to say, look. She finally does, and it seems as if her and my worst fear had been realized. The look on Natsuki's face is unlike any look of fear I've ever witnessed. She's feeling more than just fear. She's feeling anger, sadness, resentment, hatred. Natsuki.
Dad, I didn't think I'd see you here. I thought you'd be doing... that you'd be working at...
Her father scoffs slightly. I guess we're at the point now where neither of us have any idea what the other is even up to, huh, Natsuki?
Dad, what are you doing here?
I can't come to see my wife on her birthday. I thought you'd understand better than anyone how much this day means to me.
Yeah, then why did you miss it last year?
What choice did I have, Natsuki? I'm stuck. I have to work so many long hours at so many different jobs, working for peanuts just to provide for you. Everything I did and everything I didn't do was all for you, Natsuki.
That's bullcrap, and you know it, Dad! When Mom died, you didn't give a damn about me! All you ever did was look at me like I was some kind of accident, like I was the reason everything that happened. And you know, for a long time I believed that. For so long, the night Mama died had haunted my dreams, and I'd wake up hating myself, disgusted with myself. Not because I was the reason she died, but because you always made it so. You did nothing but make me wish I was never born for a whole 10 years, Dad! So please, keep telling me that everything you did was to give me the so-called life I deserved!
Natsuki, you're right, okay? I did resent you. I did blame you for your mother's death. And not that you don't already know, but that was wrong. And like a man, I will admit that right now, I wasn't well then.
Are you trying to say that you're somehow better now?
Natsuki, I'm trying. For you, I'm trying.
What changed all of a sudden? Why do you think now I believe that you wanted to do anything for me?
Do you want to know what changed? Do you really want to know?
Yes, Dad, please tell me.
It was because I actually lost you this time! Natsuki, I can't believe the man I had become in the last decade. For 10 long years, I spent every day wishing that you'd be out of my life. But the minute you were actually gone was when I woke up. That's when I realized that I was living the most despicable life any man could live. Truth be told, Natsuki, I had no idea where to go after he left.
Stop saying I left. You kicked me out.
You think I don't realize that? You think that isn't something that's been eating away at me for the entirety of the last 3 months? Natsuki, I didn't know what to do with you gone. I didn't even know where you went, or how I could reach you again, and even if I did, what could I say to you? So every week since you've been gone, I've come here to see your mother.
Really?
Yes, talking to her has been a reconciliation of sorts for me. I'd rack my brain trying to think of all the sins I've committed unto you both. The drinking, the cursing, the yelling, the hitting. Natsuki, the more I talked to your mother about the things I'd done wrong, the more I realized how much I've made your life hell for the last 10 years. Because of that, I've quit drinking and I've tried getting back on my feet. I've been looking for a better job so I could refurnish the house and stock our refrigerator. So that if you ever came home, you'd have a better place to live. Natsuki, I know that what I've done to you is unforgivable. I can hardly forgive myself. But if you'll give me the chance to prove that I've wanted to change...
I'm gonna stop you right there, Dad. There's nothing you can do or say to convince me anything you're saying is sincere.
But, Natsuki...
Dad, you are the slimiest, scummiest, most horrid person I've ever known in my life. If you actually think that you've done, or what you've done can be erased, then you're also the stupidest person I've ever known, too.
Natsuki, please don't say things like that. Please, not in front of your mother.
Don't bring Mama into this, okay? This isn't about her. This is about me and you. You've scarred me in so many more ways than I can describe, Dad. When you hit me for the first time, nothing made me feel less human. The only reason I gave my effort to carry on with my miserable life is that Hallie gave me a reason to not think it's so miserable. Hallie is my whole world now, Dad, not you. Not that it's ever been you with the way you've treated me. Just leave me alone. Leave us alone. I never wanted to see you again when you kicked me out, and now that my life is back on track, I certainly never want to see you again after I leave here today. So, just tell Mom a happy birthday if you need to. You can even confess your sins to her if you think it'll help. Just know that confessing doesn't actually mean erasing, Dad.
I think I've said my piece. Natsuki's father steps between us and walks up to his late wife's headstone. He begins to whisper, and I can't help but overhear. Kaya, I'm sorry for all the wrong I've done. I wish I could change the past. All I can do is say I'm sorry again. Happy birthday, my darling. I hope our princess comes home someday. Natsuki's father kisses the headstone and puts his thumb on the photograph. He then untapes the photo from the headstone, causing Natsuki to gasp, but she says nothing. Finally, he reveals that the picture was folded all along. He then walks toward Natsuki, getting closer to her than she seems comfortable with, and hands her the photograph. Just remember, there was a time where I wasn't the monster you see me as. As Natsuki's father steps away from Natsuki, he turns toward me for the first time and gives me a subtle manly nod. The next moment, he's gone, completely out of sight. I think about it, and I didn't even get a single word in. He didn't even acknowledge me outside of that nod. Is it weird for me to be bothered by that? It's hard to tell.
I'm sorry you had to see that. Do you think I was too hard on him?
It can't be helped, Nats. You had a lot you needed to get off your chest. In your shoes, I probably would have done the same thing.
Well, if you were in my shoes, would you have accepted his apology?
What I have? I feel like this is the answer she doesn't like. Truthfully, I think I would have. He seems like he's really making an effort, Natsuki. Before today, I had this picture of him and his personality in my head, but after seeing him just now, I guess I was expecting someone a little less human. And I think every human deserves forgiveness so long as they make the effort to better themselves.
I see. I think I needed to hear that from you to know for sure.
Natsuki looks at the picture her dad handed her, and looking closer, I can see that it's a full family photo. I walk next to her and get a better look at it. Her dad looks like a very different and more put-together man in this picture.
I put this on Mama's headstone last year. I could have cut it and deleted any trace that he was in it the whole time, too, but I would have felt too guilty because, in spite of everything, he's still my dad, and deep down...
She doesn't finish her sentence.